In astrology, everything has a birth time, but knowing as accurate of a birth time as possible is critically important. And Robert Glasscock and I have created a program to help you do just that. A crystal clear 30-minute video outlining the technique, an MP3 of a podcast explaining it, and a step-by-step instructional PDF. So you get it 3 different ways, and how you get it is at the top of the funastrology.com website. Check it out and give it a try on your own chart.
Hello, Fun Astrology podcast listeners. This is Liz Grace Christie, and I am here with a Tuesday forecast for January 28th, 2025. The moon will be in a subtle communication to the sign of Pisces throughout the day today. Subtle because she will be making 3 sextiles, starting with Venus around 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then moving to Neptune around 11 a.m. She will then take a lunch break from the sign of Pisces, a void of course moon lunch break, for about 4 hours after she makes that sextile to Neptune in Pisces. Her next aspect after that lunch break will be around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then she will swiftly move into the sign of Aquarius to rendezvous with Pluto at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The energy is pretty dynamic for Luna today, and it's also pretty dynamic for another planet, the planet Jupiter, who's been retrograde in the sign of Gemini for quite some time. Today, he is resting within the 11th degree of Gemini, and he is within a very close orb to a special fixed star known as Aldebaran. This star is astrologically located in our Western zodiac within the constellation of Gemini. If you were to look up at your night sky in the Northern Hemisphere today, you would see the bright planet Jupiter next to the red star Aldebaran, the star known as the bull's eye of Taurus. Yes, a dynamic duo here, Jupiter and Aldebaran. However, Jupiter and Aldebaran are not alone. Like an annoying gnat, Saturn over there in the sign of Pisces is making a spicy square aspect to this dynamic duo, Jupiter and Aldebaran. All right, let's get to it. What does it all mean? Do you all recall last week when I was on here last Tuesday, January 21st, when the sun went to conjoin with the planet Pluto in the first degree of the sign of Aquarius? Well, guess what? The moon today, this evening, will conjoin with the planet Pluto. What that means is that our subconscious has now integrated what was brought to light last week. And shortly after the moon makes a conjunction to Pluto at the first degree of Aquarius, Mercury comes to join the Pluto and Aquarius party. There's several parties going on in our skies these days. The Aquarius party and the Pisces party. These 2 signs, Pisces and Aquarius, have been taking up a lot of the spotlights, haven't they? We haven't really heard that much about Jupiter in Gemini. Today, Jupiter has had an official invitation to the Pisces party, which I will get to later on in the forecast. Mercury will come to conjoin the planet Pluto in Aquarius around 2 a.m. into basically Wednesday Eastern Standard Time. This means Wednesday morning, we will be waking up articulate and ready to talk about whatever the heck sort of revelations occurred on Tuesday, January 21st, 2025. Think about all the changes that occurred within the last week. We saw TikTok get taken down and then resurrected. It started snowing in Florida, northern Florida, and it's been sunny in Portland, Oregon for the last 2 weeks. Things are shifting, and there's certainly news to talk about. However, I would say that the invitation of Jupiter and the fixed star Aldebaran, we are being asked to challenge our beliefs. Jupiter in Gemini has been on a soul quest for quite some time in the sign of Gemini, and having a square invitation from Saturn in Pisces means two titans are coming together to have a confrontation. And this one feels somewhat peaceful, almost like diplomatic. Two foreign countries coming together to discuss a peace treaty potentially, which I think is good news. I'm not saying that that's going to occur on a collective level, but maybe two foreign countries of yourself could come to an agreement today. With all the sextile energy in the air from the moon in Capricorn before she slips into the sign of Aquarius, feels very diplomatic. And it's a diplomatic that is imaginative, as in creative solutions could be found today that could impact the future in great ways. Tapping back into the fixed star Aldebaran, if you do look in the night sky, if you are in the northern hemisphere, you will find Jupiter near the red star Aldebaran. This star represents clarity, which is fitting for it being the eye of the bull in the constellation of Taurus. Furthermore, Jupiter hanging out next to Aldebaran makes me feel like we are gaining more clarity. So that is why this concept of finding a solution that may have not been feasible or comprehensible before today is on its way. It's safe to bet that a lot of us could use some creative solutions these days. With that, I hope that this podcast finds you well. I'm Liz Grace Christie. You will hear from me again next week. This is the Fun Astrology Podcast. Sending you all so much love and peace on earth.